Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat. You're watching iGyaan, and today we're going to be unboxing and taking a first look at the new Motorola One Power. Let's quickly get started. Now, the Motorola One Power comes after the company has received quite a lot of criticism for launching phones that are getting more and more expensive. Also, the company took a while to start pushing out the Android 8 update to their previous gen devices, which have now started to get the Android 8 update. Now, the Motorola One Power is a device that has been designed exclusively for India. It has been launched as a P30 Note overseas, but in India it's available as an Android One device and in a very specific format. So this is going to be their online only device, and it's not going to be even available at Moto hubs. So if you look at the packaging, you can see that it's fairly simplistic, and it does say Android One on the box on several sides. It is a Motorola device and it has been made in India. You can also see on the back that the phone does get the new notch style design. This is the first phone from Motorola to get a notch style display, and you do see some specifications on the back of the box, but we'll get right into those in just a minute. Let's quickly cut through the packaging and get inside the box and see what all is there. So the first thing inside the box is the phone itself. Now it does come with a clear back case. The phone does have a metal body, so if you do want to protect it from scratches or scuffs, this is a good way to do that. Also, the case allows you to add a little bit of shine to an otherwise really nice matte finished black back. If you go further in, you will see documentation. Now all sorts of documentation is available, including a user manual and a warranty and regulatory information. Also inside the box is a SIM ejector tool along with a USB Type-C cable and the Moto Turbo power charger. Now this is a 15-watt charger. It comes included in the box. That's everything from the box of the Motorola One Power. It's time to look at the device itself. So finally, Motorola is trying to catch up with the online demand and has come out with finally a modern looking display. Even though a lot of people do not like the notch, it has become the norm of it being defined as a modern display. So over at the front, you can see that you do get a notchy display. The display is a 6.2-inch 2246 by 1080 pixel display. You get 403 pixels per inch. The display is an LTPS IPS LCD display, and it does have Corning Gorilla Glass, although the version is unspecified. The aspect ratio on the display is 18.7:9, allowing you to get a nice wide-angle experience, and some of the quirks in the user interface are really nice as well, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. Now let's talk about the front camera, which sits in the notch. It is a 12 megapixel camera with an f2 aperture and a 1.25 micron pixel size. You also do have a dedicated LED flash, and the front camera also supports a portrait mode. Now despite the notch, the display stretches out quite a lot to the sides and over to the top, but the bottom bit does get a considerable amount of bezel or a bottom chin, which does house the Motorola logo. It's not a bad design, but it's not perfect because it still has a few thick bezels. On the bottom of the device, you can see a nice symmetrical pattern with a USB Type-C port on the center and two symmetrical grills flanking it on either side. One is a speakerphone while the other a microphone. Over to the right is the power button along with the volume buttons, and over to the top is the secondary noise cancellation microphone along with a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the left is where your SIM tray is. Now this is a dedicated tray, so you can pop in two SIM cards and one micro SD card. The micro SD card can be up to 256 gigabyte. Now on the back is the camera action, so you can see a vertical camera layout. You do have a 16 megapixel f1.8 sensor sitting on the top, which does have a 1.12 micron pixel size, while the other is a 5 megapixel f2.2 sensor. This is a 1 micron pixel size sensor. There is also a color corrected dual LED flash sitting between them, and then you can also see the fingerprint sensor, which does now house the Motorola logo within the sensor, which is something that people were asking for quite a while. It now finally comes in the fingerprint sensor, which is really nice. Now, Motorola has already made Android One devices. In fact, the Moto X4 launched last year was available in a Android One version in certain parts of the world. This is going to be their first Android One device of 2018, and also in India, making the user experience slightly better, also allowing for faster, quicker updates to things like Android P, which this device is supposed to get before the end of 2018. Now, the device does have an FM radio inbuilt, and you also get Dolby audio support. The phone also has Bluetooth 5.0 along with Bluetooth Low Energy, and it has all the sensors that you would need from a device. For hardware, the phone runs on the Qualcomm Snapdragon 636 chipset with a 1.8 GHz octa-core CPU. It does have an Adreno 509 GPU. The phone is available only in a 4GB plus 64GB variant, and it can be increased in terms of storage with an additional micro SD card, which can be up to a 256GB. The phone is 8.98 millimeters in terms of thickness, and it weighs in at about 205 grams, and there's good reason for that because the phone has a whopping 5000 milliamp hour battery, which is absolutely brilliant because despite being a 5000 milliamp hour battery phone, the phone feels rather comfortable, and the back panel along with the way the phone contours is really nice and comfortable in the hand. At least that's what I can tell from initial impressions. And at 205 grams, it is heavier than traditional phones, but fairly lightweight for a 5000 milliamp hour battery phone. Now, the user interface is rather responsive, and that's due to the fact that it's running a completely clean install of Android. You'll find yourself navigating through menus and scrolling through apps rather easily. You can also jump between applications and use split windows, things like that, without any burden on the device whatsoever. Now, battery life is anticipated to last you about 2 days with a 5000 milliamp hour battery in network situations that are present in India. If you do go to a stable network zone, you will find that battery life is going to be much longer. But of course, I'm going to be testing all of that out. If we talk about the camera app, again, it's a very stock camera app, not a lot of customizations over there. You do have a portrait mode on the front as well as a rear camera, and you also do have an expert mode, which allows you to take shots after customizing your picture before you capture the image. As far as video recording is concerned, the phone captures 4K video at 30 frames per second, full HD at 60 frames per second. If you are interested in using a 16:9 aspect ratio, the phone will need to come down to 8 megapixels, but if you're using a 4:3 aspect ratio, you can get a full 16 megapixel shot. Now, portrait mode also doesn't have all of the customizations that you would see on typical Motorola devices, so you do not have selective color or post editing, but you do have a really good portrait mode from what I've seen in the initial impressions that I have had with this device. Now, it is only going to be available in this black color and is only going to be available online. So if you guys are interested in checking this out and are also interested in knowing what the price is, I'll leave that in the description below. Now, the phone does have a fingerprint sensor, which I mentioned earlier. The Motorola logo at the back is the fingerprint sensor. It is rather easy to set up and is also extremely responsive and will allow you to launch the device without pressing the power button almost instantly. You can also wake the phone using the fingerprint sensor. That does require a little bit of a time, but if you do have the screen on already, you can tap on the fingerprint sensor and the unlock is almost immediate. The phone also has a few Motorola features that Motorola is known for, so it does still continue to get Moto actions, which means that you chop twice to get the flashlight mode and twist the phone to launch the camera, twist again to launch the front-facing camera. You do also get Moto display, which is really nice and comes in really handy for a lot of people, especially to get to know your notifications, etc. So if you have the phone lying on the table and you have a missed call or something, you can approach the device and you will get all your information about the device, including your missed calls, including time, etc. on the screen itself. Now, the phone is missing face unlock, but I believe that will come with Android 9 when that update is rolled out. Like I mentioned, the company is saying that the update will be rolled out before the end of the year. We did manage to take some pictures with the device and we'll roll them right now so you can have a look at that. And these are some shots with the front-facing camera. We also took a 4K video sample, and this is what that looks like. The device also manages to get, as expected, benchmark scores, scoring about 1,16,000 on Antutu and similar results on Geekbench as well. So you can see those scores on the screen right now. Of course, it manages to handle gaming without any issues. and we managed to play PUBG as well as Asphalt 9 without a hitch. So that's it for this unboxing and first look of the Motorola One Power. If you have any questions or queries, do drop them in the comment section below as we review the device in the coming days. If you want us to compare it to any other device, we will be happy to do that. So just drop those suggestions in the comment section below as well. If you like this video, guys, don't forget to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already a part of Team iGyaan. This has been Bharat. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you on the next one.